mess with this at all?
I know how to cut the screen off,
All right.
because people leave it on.
All right, well, when you come in, can anybody see?
Yeah.
It may be dark, but if you move towards it, it'll light up, so it's got a little sensor.
So there's nothing that we need to switch on when we walk in the room necessarily?
No, you just come over to the panel and press start, and it will automatically turn the display on.
Okay,
And then you have your choice of input locations with the HDMI cables.
okay.
And I'm currently connected to HDMI 1. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but it says HDMI 1 is connected.
Okay.
So it actually can sense, see how it went red?
Yeah.
Now it's not connected. It can sense those connections. And then on the left here is where you choose your source. So HDMI 1, you would press that, and it's already there. So we go to the display to turn it on, which it's already there. If it's not on, that's the steps you would take. So let's see. So if somebody's in HDMI 2, they would choose HDMI 2.
And then display.
And then press display.
Okay.
And that will kind of throw that over to the display.
Okay.
And so we can go back to HDMI 1.
Display.
And that actually senses it automatically, so since it's
Alright.
connected. So there's 3 HDMI inputs throughout the table. So you can choose from those.
Are there any other inputs besides the HDMI?
There's the Solstice device
Okay.
that we were talking about. No, that's fine. We'll go over that a little
Okay.
bit. And it actually lives behind the TV.
Okay.
You don't have to connect or anything like
So
that
kind
for
of
that.
like the smart cap.
Kind of.
Kind of like that, okay.
Mhm. So you have volume controls in the bottom right, so we can go up and down and up. And then there's a mute function for the volume, and you can see where it's blinking.
Yep.
That lets you know that the audio is muted. And then there's another mute feature over here, which is audio and video mute. So when you press that, it'll mute the video and the audio.
Okay.
So if you're working on something, somebody walks in, sensitive, whatever, you can quickly do it without having to shut your stuff down. Or if you just want to turn it off for a little while so people aren't being distracted. And then there's another settings button here, a little bit more granular. You can toggle the display on and off within here. Wait a few seconds, it has to, actually turn off and reset itself. Okay, good. I heard it click.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe that was it turning off. Oh, so you have to wait. There it goes. Oops, I'm gonna confuse it good now. So, and there's video mute within this setting as well. You can shut down from in here and control volume from in here. And you just press the X to close that window. And if you're done presenting, you're finished with everything, you press the shutdown button, there's a confirmation page. Just hit power down or cancel if you make it, if you hit it by mistake. And that's really the system. So there's not a whole lot to it. Once you use it a few times, I think it'll be a lot easier for you if you're not familiar with it. And if you want to talk about the Solstice song?
Well, the phone is over here, right?
Oh, yeah. We can go over that stuff too, I'm sorry. So there, this Rj45 connector, it looks like a network connection, it's for the phone. So the phone's in the closet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the only one that has phone in it. Okay.
So you can bring that over and plug it in and it'll immediately turn on, all that good stuff. The USB is for the conference room Logitech system. So do we want to demo that? Do y'all want to do a?
Now the phone would just be a phone. The speaker would be the speaker on the phone.
That is correct. It's just an analog phone.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Logitech camera system is what the camera that's mounted over there for use with WebEx, Skype, Zoom, whatever.
Okay.
So,
Google Hangouts, you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. You can use
Any
that
of
as
our-
well. And so there's a USB cable. Where you guys keep the cables?
In one of those, that bottom drawer, I think,
The bottom
bottom.
drawer?
In there, your box of stuff in there? Maybe it's in the center doors.
In the doors?
This thing's amazing, isn't it? Did we put them where we keep the other cords over there?
No, there was a whole box of stuff.
Oh, is it in the box?
Watch out. I mean, a great big box of stuff.
We'll edit this out.
That was sitting in that bookcase, didn't like it, so
Oh, okay. That box, maybe. Okay.
I put it there.
Marion, I didn't like the emotion in that shot. Let's do that again.
Uh-oh.
You just told her she was on camera.
Show some more passion for finding those things.
Okay, so there is a USB
I'll
cable
edit.
in there.
I'm a director. I'll edit you out, Marion, when I put it on YouTube.
Okay, whatever. I don't know what he's talking about.
So for the web camera, you just plug your USB in here, and
And
then
then that
go to your device.
Okay.
And you hear the little, did you hear it ding?
Boy, that covered
And
the whole
so
screen.
the camera wakes up, the base wakes up.
So this is how we would do, like, we're using WebEx, this would be the way to set it up.
Yes.
Where's the microphone at?
There's
Is
a
it-
microphone built in here.
Okay.
And each one of these are microphones. So it kind of balances the
Okay,
table.
so we don't have to worry about the microphone in the computer.
No,
It's
you'd want to use what's in the
going on
base.
in the room. Okay.
And that's where within WebEx, if you're not familiar with
Yeah,
WebEx, you need to reach out and get some WebEx training, because you do have to pick the device in
Yep.
there for your
Yep.
audio and video settings.
Yep.
If you haven't done that before, because a lot of times it'll default to your onboard camera if you have
Okay.
one, audio and video.
Good to know.
John, on your end, was that a USB connection?
This is the USB.
Okay, it's USB to
To
phone.
the only USB connection, that's in that cable cubby. And each cubby has power.
It's kind of a different
Yeah, to the
USB connection. as
USB
far
to
as-
phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, don't confuse it with these USB connections.
Yeah.
Take it back, there are other USBs, but this is only power. This doesn't
Okay,
connect to any
okay.
devices.
So
That's
some-
just for charging a phone or something like that.
Okay.
So I don't see the benefit to really doing a WebEx session right now, because that's gonna be what you guys need to be trained on every
Right.
week. I'm just showing you how to connect to it. So, and when you end your session and you unplug the system, it'll turn off by itself. It'll indicate it's not connected to anything. And then you can just stow your cables. So, other than that,
You can't use that thing for a phone call though, just a regular?
you can pair your mobile phone with it Bluetooth.
Okay.
And so if you want a better quality call than your handheld phone, your mobile phone, you can, again, pair it with that and upgrade the quality of the sound.
That's what Sal has done here lately anyway, when, instead of doing the conference call on the landline.
Yeah.
Now, you guys also have a wireless microphone in here.
Oh, nice.
So this was in here
Yeah, that's
prior.
our wireless
We just
microphone.
we just tied it into the system.
Oh, nice,
Say,
but still,
I
it's
thought
tied
it's
into the
always
system,
been
that's
there.
pretty cool.
And we just had them move the stuff in there to
Test.
the brains underneath.
Sorry.
And now it's all part of one system.
You can adjust the audio here.
This
the
is
levels.
great. We could have some
For
really
the
good team building exercises.
Karaoke sessions.
Karaoke, yeah. Everybody thinks karaoke.
And we can just leave the screen.
So you guys want to play with this? You're not going to break it. I mean, turn it on or whatever.
You don't know.
So we'll go to the solstice, and I'll give you an overview of this. So it's a wireless collaboration device, meaning you connect to it wirelessly.
Which thing is the solstice?
It lives behind the TV. It's just a
Okay.
little box. Yeah, it's magic.
That's kind of what I'm gathering.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you don't have to use an HDMI connection.
It's that little plug thing, right, that you clicked on?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a box with two antennas sticking up, is what that's supposed to look like. So that's it's an Anthony creation there. So he does good on the graphics. So what you would do is connect to EduRoam. You have to be connected to EduRoam, not the GCN.
On your computer.
On your computer or your phone. You guys can do it on your phones. You can do it on an iPad.
Okay.
And in the bottom left, there's an IP address.
Mhm.
So you would open the browser and you would put that IP address in there.
Okay.
And it's changing because the wireless is turned on the Solstice, which will turn that off, so you will not get that other 192 address.
Okay.
We just haven't, we're waiting on the network connection to be fixed so we can log into it. So now I can make
So
those
you
changes.
wanna look for the one that's the 152.
152,
Okay.
13, 176 something.
123.
There we go, thank you.
Oh, the one that pops up next, okay.
And where do you enter that?
Into a web browser.
Okay, any web browser.
Mhm.
Oh, I see, it's HTTP, I didn't see that, I didn't notice that part.
And it's not gonna come up. So let me get with networks, make sure they have the port configured properly.
Okay.
It's getting the IP address, but it's not passing the traffic. So we'll get that corrected. And again, reach out to Mika,
Mika,
and she will do the training for that.
all right.
So what should happen? What would you expect to happen?
Basically, I would hit the device and it would ask if I want to download the software to
Mhm.
connect with, and then I would do that. It's just a small application. And then I have a choice to share my screen. And when I do, it goes full screen. And you can see that the audio will pass, you can do video, and then when someone else connects, it splits the screen. And you have both devices up there. If a third party person comes in, then it'll go into 3 sections and 4 and so on. One person has the choice to moderate the session, and they can preview it in the software what someone wants to present, see if it's appropriate, whatever, and then
Good idea.
click on that, especially in the classrooms.
Good idea.
Yeah. So we have a comparable device like this in all the classrooms that we've upgraded. Most of them are called a ShareLink, so if you ever hear ShareLink, Solstice, they're pretty much the same, different manufacturers. We're trying different brands.
Isn't that what's down in, 275, a ShareLink?
Is it a standard classroom?
It's another conference room.
It could be if it's a
Kin
conference room. Some
conference
people
room.
request.
ShareLink sounds familiar, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen that down there.
What department's 275?
It's
Kinesiology.
kinesiology. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
they have one.
Yeah, the end
Yep.
of the hall there, yeah.
At the end of the hall, that's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Okay.
That's all I
And
have.
see, they use that one as a classroom a lot. We
They
don't
do
allow
use it.
classes up
Yeah.
here.
Okay,
Yeah, that's true.
For a lot of meetings, so that
Meetings
screen
and-
share
yeah.
thing.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they do a
Alright.
lot of interviews in there, from my understanding as well.
Yeah.
Any questions? Anybody want to test drive it?
I wouldn't know what to ask, yeah. I mean.
Well, again, just, pick your input.
Right.
And if
And then
it
hit
senses
display.
it, it's gonna change for you. If it doesn't, if you wanna pick a input ahead of time, then you mash display to kinda choose that one.
So when you're doing the HDMI inputs, you can only have one visible on the screen at a time, but you can toggle between the two of them.
That is correct. Now, if you want multiple, use the Solstice,
Okay.
if you wanna collaborate that way.
Okay, so the whole point of the Solstice is collaboration.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Mhm. Multiple people sharing content. And if someone comes in with an iPad or their phone and they say, oh, I can add to this conversation, let me pull up this drawing or whatever, well, they can't connect to HDMI, but they
Right.
can
Bluetooth.
screen share, if you will.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
So do you have to sign out to Solstice before you go back to HDMI one?
No, you just, well, you wanna close your session out,
Okay.
yeah. Because if you don't, then you leave the room and you're still connected to EduRoam, and you pull up your favorite recipe, everybody's gonna see it, so get your secrets.
Oh.
Good to know.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing about the Solstice is each session has a unique key code.
Right.
You have to have the key code to join in. And when everybody kind of logs out, like you said, that key code will change. It's randomly generated for each session.
Okay.
So someone can't just memorize a key code and mess with it, the next day or something,
So can that be done for somebody that's somewhere else on campus or another area, if you give them that, I guess,
the key code.
the key code of where to go?
At this time, they need the IP address and the key code, and then, yes, they can present from outside this room. That may change, because eventually these devices are gonna be on a different network VLAN, and they won't be on, the 152 is what they call the ISP network,
Mhm.
which is accessible from the internet. And they're probably gonna secure things a little more,
Okay.
But we may request some exceptions to where people can get to it, but not just anybody. Because if you do want someone to collaborate from another campus or country
Right.
or whatever, it'd still be nice to have that feature. So all that conversation's, going on with networks right now, so we'll see where that ends up.
Okay, so you say that something has to happen with the wireless, so they don't get the 192?
I just need to go into the device and turn the wireless portion of the device off.
Gotcha.
Because we don't utilize that.
I
We
see.
connect through EduRoam. I know it's a little confusing because we're going through EduRoam wireless.
Which is
and
usually
it goes-
wireless, yeah,
And it
yeah.
goes back through the network and connects to that
So
device through a cable.
This isn't going through the GCN then?
No, it's not.
Okay.
They do not want to bridge those two networks.
That makes perfect sense to
Yeah.
me.
See, and it creates a little challenge if you need GCN resources.
Right.
But you can do the remote desktop sort of thing. There's other options that you can go if you need to get the banner while you're presenting.
Okay,
There's a few workarounds that keep it secure.
okay.
Any other questions?
All right,
I think we'll have to play with it.
appreciate your time,
Yeah,
John.
very much so.
Sorry that that's not configured like we were hoping it would be today, but
No,
like I
we
said,
learned something.
you'll get better training on that
steps.
from
Okay.
me,
Okay.
because I use it, but mainly it's install and testing.
I see.
Yeah, and so they're getting their deep, they know all the features and the new updates that come out.
Okay, cool.
Because the company's really good about taking people's requests and trying to work those in if they can, if it makes sense.
Screen resolution's great.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, they're nice
I like open
displays.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sitting there going like, does anybody know a good movie we can put?
So again, you press shutdown and power down, and then it'll automatically turn it off, and it defaults back to the HDMI 1.
Okay.
And you're good to go.